Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most frightening or fun IP-based houses to hit Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. We're only focusing on houses based on pre-existing media and excluding original concepts and scare zones. Note, some maze videos may contain strobing lights and intermittent screaming. Number 10. Trick or Treat. It may not be the most popular IP to get the maze treatment, but Trick or Treat's commitment to the Halloween spirit made it a perfect fit for horror nights. Originally used as the basis for an Orlando scare zone in 2017, the cult property proved to be popular enough with park guests to warrant a full-blown house the following year. The maze featured many of the anthology film's most iconic kills and set pieces, with Sam always lurking around the corner, keeping watch for anyone who dared to break tradition. The 5 distinct sequences in Trick or Treat also allowed for a refreshingly varied mix of scares throughout, including an apparent clever repurposing of an American werewolf puppet. Number 9. Insidious. For many repeat attendees, Horror Nights is all about the art of the scare, and few IP mazes have been quite as bone-chilling as those based on the Insidious franchise. Hollywood was the first to experience a house based on the films back in 2013, but we think the 2015 houses on both coasts have it beat. Dubbed Insidious Return to the Further in Hollywood and simply Insidious in Orlando, they allowed guests to step into the Further and come face to face with its most horrifying specters. If you thought the red-faced demon and Bride in Black were scary on screen, you can only begin to imagine the terror people felt seeing them leap out at them. Number 8. Stranger Things. No one could have predicted the massive impact Stranger Things would have on pop culture when it dropped on Netflix in 2016. It became one of the few streaming shows to launch a merchandising empire and inspired a brand new wave of 80s nostalgia. All things considered, Universal's first Horror Nights house based on the franchise was a bit late to the game, but that certainly didn't make the experience any less worthwhile. For the first time, fans could explore the Byers house and the Upside Down firsthand, dodging Demogorgons alongside their favorite characters. The maze's popularity led to 2 more collaborations with the series in 2019 and 2023, with ensuing seasons bringing a host of new scares to Universal's annual Halloween event. Number 7. House of a Thousand Corpses. Plenty of Horror Nights houses have been based on movies, but how many movies have their roots in a Horror Nights house? The idea for Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses dates back to an original concept he developed for HHN's 6th annual Hollywood event, then titled American Nightmare. The project was given the film treatment, though obstacles meant it only came to fruition 3 years later. Still, it gained a cult following and eventually returned to Horror Nights in 2019. Captain Spaulding, Dr. Satan, and the Firefly family were back and better than ever before, now on both coasts. The film-inspired maze included more detailed sets, costumes, and violence, upping the depravity as guests ventured further into the depths of the titular house. Number 6. Beetlejuice. The ghost with the most is no stranger to Universal. He meets during the day in Orlando and has hosted several shows in the park's past.
So we've run into our favorite ghost with the most.
How are you?
That's the...
Nobody says the B word.
It seemed like it was only a matter of time before he got a maze of his own, and in 2020, it finally happened. Sort of. COVID led to the cancellation of the park's 30th Horror Nights event earlier in the year, but by October, Orlando had already reopened its gates. For 2 days only, the East Coast Park operated a wonderfully weird and immaculately detailed Beetlejuice maze to the delight of fans.
Let's get down to business. I got a couple of you bunch of losers!
Thankfully, the house returned for the real event the following year, allowing thousands of new souls to finally traverse the world of the film. Number 5. The Walking Dead: The End of the Line. This comic turned AMC horror series has a long history with Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. It inspired several mazes and scare zones over the years, one of which even became a permanent attraction in Universal Studios Hollywood from 2016 to 2021. As a result, it's difficult to pick just one Walking Dead maze to highlight as the best. 2012's Dead Inside definitely makes a case for itself, having been the year's icon house, but we think 2014's The End of the Line takes the cake. At the time, Orlando's version of the house was the biggest house to ever be built for the event, and all that extra space meant more walkers and even more scares. Number 4. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. While it's fun to be scared, when done right, a comedic IP house can be just as entertaining as its terrifying counterparts. This was certainly the case for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a cotton candy-colored carnival of a maze based on the cult film of the same name. The commitment from both coast creative directors was immediately evident in the house's elaborate set designs, detailed costuming, and thematically appropriate scents. It even featured a number of GATs, or guest-activated triggers, which could do things like spray folks with water. For those familiar with the 1988 film, it was the ultimate fan experience, and for newcomers to Crescent Cove, it provided an entertaining reprieve from the event's more horrifying houses. Number 3. An American Werewolf in London. Universal's efforts to recreate every detail of the giant werewolf puppets from John Landis's 1981 comedy horror film paid off. Pretty much everyone was awestruck by the entire maze's craftsmanship, us included. The house was something of a passion project for creative director John Murdy, who had been a fan of the film since junior high. This is evident not only in the screen-accurate recreations of the film's sets and makeup, but in the maze's new effects as well. It's clear everyone involved in its creation knew what made people fall in love with the film, and came together to create a spectacularly spooky homage worthy of the American Werewolf title. Number 2. The Thing: Assimilation. In 2007, Jack the Clown returned to Horror Nights to host a carnival of carnage and brought with him one of the most innovative houses yet. The Thing: Assimilation wasn't a one-to-one adaptation of John Carpenter's 1982 film, but an unofficial sequel, which played up the fictional world's grotesque horror elements. It was one of the first mazes to very widely utilize puppetry and animatronics, paving the way for some of our favorite modern houses. Given its place in HHN history, it's a shame that this house was only seen in Orlando and existed at a time when there was far less documentation of the event. Because of this, we're thankful to YouTubers like MattisFat24 for sharing the experience online for future generations. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. American Horror Story Volume 2. 3 frightening seasons of American Horror Story all in one house. The Cabin in the Woods. Well-timed jump scares, incredible Easter eggs, and a menacing mix of monsters. Halloween. Michael Myers lurked around every corner of this thrilling recreation of the 1978 film. Universal Monsters Unmasked. A loving reimagining of some of Universal's most iconic monsters. Evil Dead. Evil never dies.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Shining. Have you ever wished you could book a night at the Overlook Hotel? Well, in 2017, you could. The Shining is such a popular property that it likely would have been packed nightly regardless of quality. But luckily for fans, it was one of Universal's white whales, and they took the opportunity to go all out. Orlando's version of the maze was particularly impressive, using a mirror effect to translate the hotel's long corridors into a small space. These faux hallways acted as a brilliant contrast to the more claustrophobic scenes, like Jack violently breaking through a wooden door.
Johnny!
Unfortunately, it seems neither park was granted the ability to use Nicholson's likeness, but the scare actors more than made up for it with their shocking intensity. What film or television show do you hope to see Halloween Horror Nights tackle next? Let us know in the comments.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.